It would not be a Trump contest without excitement and drama.
And I travel around the world modeling and had a great career.
At one point in time, the world saw her go from a girl from a small town in Slovenia to the First Lady of America. Yet lurking beneath this is a tale of hard work, determination, and $70 million. She's more than just a beauty queen, ex-model, and the First Lady. She is true epitome of strength, courage, and spirit of the phoenix. Today, the story of Melania Trump will be revealed from her early years in Slovenia, her career in modeling, up to the time she became a First Lady. So wait for the last twist, because the last thing that you will see will shock you to the very core. The early development of counseling in Slovenia. Melania Trump, originally named Melania Novs, was born in April 1970 in Sevnica, a tiny industrial center in Slovenia, which was part of former Yugoslavia at the time. Sevnica was not a very luxurious town. Her father, Victor, was a car salesman, and her mother, Amalia, was a designer of children's clothing at the Sevnica factory. Melania was born and raised in a middle-class family where her parents taught her all about honesty, integrity, professionalism, and work ethic. Since her childhood, Melania had been interested in beauty and fashion, which was created by her mother's occupation. Her early interest in style was developed by watching her mother sew design for hours. As a child, she, together with her brother, was sent to school in Sevnica to obtain her basic education, along with attracting attention with artistic skills and beauty. Apart from modeling, Melania started working at the age of 16. She was spotted by a photographer who saw qualities in her. In Slovenia, where resources were very scarce, she was extremely elegant with good postural camaraderie. Those critics in the local modeling industry had it that she lacked what they called international model looks. But Melania did not lose heart. She had greater visions in her life and aspired to become something in life. Melania was very active by the age of 18 and was already modeling and signed with a modeling agency in Milan. When she appeared in a campaign of a European fashion house, she got noticed by the leading designers. It was the launching pad for her as she moved on to become a world-renowned superstar. New York dreams and career success. 1996 was the year Melania made the most crucial decision to pack her bags and move to New York, the fashion capital. When she reached Manhattan, she only had a suitcase and a fierce desire to succeed, so she started to find her own place in modeling industry. Melania's first big break was when she posed for GQ magazine, doing a daring shoot for the magazine's cover. This not only served an aim of drawing attention, but also contributed to affirm her role of a sensual, then risky model. She was not limited to ceremonial commercial models, but Melania was equally at home in high fashion. Advertising campaigns, and simple sales catalog. This has seen her work for famous fashion designers such as Chanel and even Christian Dior, alongside working for mainstream brands such as Jeep. Due to this versatility, she was much sought after by photographers and editors the world over. By the early 2000s, Melania had achieved what many models could only dream of. She posed for Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, and the New York magazine's cover pages. Despite her European roots and manners, Maria was different from many other models of her time, who preferred rather rebellious appearance. Yet Melania was not a typical model, or perhaps her goal was not just to model. She delved into the various possibilities of business, along with branding, which marked the initial phase of her financial guarantee. It was little did she know that the next chapter of her life was a whirlwind romance with one of the most powerful men in America. Extending each section up to 2,000 words entail going into finer details, what happened before, during, and after, and spinning a story regarding Melania Trump. Here's how the expanded sections would look. Create your own meeting with Donald Trump, a life-changing experience. Union. Melania Knavs and Donald Trump love story meets all the aspects of glamour, ambition, and destiny interlinked for successful marriage. This was in 1998, and New York City had been vibrant as Fashion Week was on. Melania, at that time already an accomplished model, went to the glamorous event at the world-famous Kit Kat Club. In a sea of industry giants and classy gowns, there was Donald Trump, the vulgar real estate mogul who only lately gained fame and fortune, and whose private life is discussed in the tabloids. At that time, Donald had not been out of the glamour, as he is one of the most famous entrepreneurs in the United States of America. He was still technically a divorcee. His marriage to his second wife, Marla Maples, had been dissolved little more than 2 years prior. And in that time, Trump had emerged as one of the most fearing and forceful minds in business, media, and of course, real estate. However, on that evening, as a successfully laid-back event full of beauties, he focused on Melania. She was modest, and it was not hard to notice her in a room full of beautiful and gorgeous ladies. The first time that they met is still history today. When Donald extended his hand to Melania, he was going to be shocked by her response. She was no fool to fall for his flattery instantly or have a weakness for him immediately. She wanted that admiration felt, and because of this, she made him fight for her attention. Him charmed Melania. After he asked for her number, she in return told him to give her his. This shift was rather opposite to what Donald got used to, and he felt more interested. They, of course, had their struggles in terms of courtship, just like any other couple these days. Their engagement had a lot of attention since they met after 24 years difference in age, and since Donald had been very prominent in media. Nevertheless, Melania did not strive to avoid all this public attention, but she continued to focus on the process of creating a true partnership for starting a family with Donald, based on aspirations and admiration. Gradually, Melania was introduced to the lifestyle of the incumbent US president and the billionaire Donald Trump. She partied with different celebrities, met different famous people, and had a lifestyle that was as far from her Slovenian roots as can be. But she never gave up her identity. People she knew cited that despite her changed status, he had never seen her act like a diva in any way. By the turn of the century, the couple's bond steady enough, and in June 2004, Donald K. proposed to Melania K. with a 15-carat diamond engagement ring that cost $1.5 million. They would like to have further engagement since it showed that they see the future together. Vera agreed to marry him in a grand style in 2005 that was considered the culmination of a great love story of two young stars that were adorning the country. The function that took place at Mar-a-Lago was an opulent affair with a touch of formality added to it. The First Lady chose a stunning Christian Dior dress with crystals, over 1,500 in fact, and it is speculated to have cost over 550 hours in the making. This list of guests usually consisted of celebrities, politicians, and other powerful people, making them an accepted part of the nobility. Marriage to Donald offered Melania newcomer chances and impacts. She moved from a private person to a political personality, always exposed to the focus of media. Even in the harshest moments she had to face, she always stayed graceful and composed. And that's who Donald was to a large extent. A gracious and elegant man. This part of Melania's life was not only sounds about true love and companionship. However, it also encompassed the band of fame and stardom experiences. Her pageantry to embrace this new world allowed her to future-proof for her next political role, the First Lady. Changing from candidate's spouse to the First Lady. The launch of the campaign for President of the United States in 2015 turned Melania Trump's life upside down. After being in annual shoots, a model, and a businesswoman, the life changed drastically and quickly, putting her into the political arena that is both unknown and highly watched. Melania was rarely in a campaign position at the start. Unlike other political wives, she shunned the media and opted to play a supporter's role to her husband. However, her first prominent address was the Republican National Convention in 2016, when she gained attention she has never get before. The speech, though liked in some quarters, sparked an instant controversy over charges of lifters in just 30 minutes. It was proved that some of the sentences were uttered by her are very similar to Michelle Obama's speech. This led to lots of attention from the media, but Melania ignored such remarks and settled for dignified silence and avoided responding to such critics, opting to practice what she preaches. Melania also had her own way of going around her work as the First Lady of the United States of America. But she was not interested in being a political personality in the informational and traditional sense, occupying her own place. Her Be Best, which was begun in March 2018, was a goal-set ID it strived to nurture children all over the world and to address opioid venom and cyberbullying. While the response to the initiative would be decidedly lukewarm, many critics wondering about its actual purpose and utility, it showed that Melania was a genuinely passionate First Lady about the causes she chose to champion. This was particularly true when she turned her attention to cyberbullying, which many perceived as being a direct reaction to the toxic and polarizing nature of much of what passed for online discourse. Melania's outfit choice became one of the interests of her as the First Lady. Indeed, she declared things knowingly or unknowingly through her wardrobe. Her wardrobe ranged from white pantsuit, which she wore at her husband's State of the Union address, to "I really don't care" jacket she wore while visiting child detention center. For the entire period of her being a First Lady, Melania preserved the element of enigmatic. She rarely granted interviews and scarcely made issues affecting her personal life public, and thus give the public different interpretations of her personality. This is some of the reasons that made her one of the most enigmatic First Ladies in the recent history. Self-employment and financial autonomy. Ever since Melania met Donald Trump, she had been sure to put her shining star together and set herself for financial freedom. This lady's entrepreneurship activities started in 2010 when she started selling jewelry on QVC. The collection was classy and innocent, as befitting a First Lady, designed to complement Melania. Though the jewelry line was not heavily successful, it was her first step to the crossroads of the business world. It made another point for Melania to expand her possibilities as her name turned into a valuable asset that can create a solid personal brand. In 2021, she was on the news again by launching of her NFT known as Melania's Vision. The digital artwork was hailing from a watercolor painting of her eyes, and the audio message that ensued was a message of positivity and hope. They risked bigger money for NFT, selling it at about $200,000, which positioned them in the new frontier of cryptocurrency and digital art. Melania's other investments, which are in real estate, have also contributed immensely in her revenues. And from her own designed penthouse in Trump Tower up to Slovenian investments, everything looks like its well-planned wealth accumulation program. They have not only provided for her for the rest of her years, but also built her a business empire. Her entrepreneurship activities do not only include production and investment entities. Melania has also ventured into the world of charity volunteerism, humanitarian cause, and other causes. Some of the charitable organizations that she has worked with include the American Red Cross, which shows her charitable wisdom. Melania is not just a wife of a president, she is an entrepreneur and businesswoman who is also able to establish her separate business programs. It must be noted that about Melania Trump's meteoric rise, ambition, and ability to rise from adversity. From a small village in Slovenia to a wife of an incumbent president, she has survived life's hurdles gracefully. As a model, businesswoman, and now a mother, she has created a niche for herself that can only belong to her. What did you find most motivating in her story? Otherwise, feel free to tell us in the comments section below. Do not forget to click the like button, share, and subscribe for other amazing real-life stories. See you next time.